Oh, hello there. Welcome back to the channel. If you're a subscriber, thanks for being here. If you're new, my name's Paul. I'm English. I live in France, and I'm a stand-up comedian, but I used to work at Apple, and I've decided to make two videos about the iPhone 12 mini, which I bought last week, and I did an unboxing video because it's a French version of the phone. So the unboxing was slightly different to the rest of the world. So if you want to go and see what makes the French iPhone unboxing experience different to the rest of the world, then go up here and click on the video, wherever the video is. I don't care. You don't care. It doesn't matter. Here we go. So I've been using it for a week. My previous phone was the iPhone 11 Pro. And basically, this video I wanted to make because I was wondering myself, and I really couldn't find another video on YouTube about this, is going from an 11 Pro to a 12 mini actually a downgrade, or is it an upgrade? I mean, technically it's a Pro, and technically this is a mini, but this is the older generation, and this is the newer generation. So what is it? It's kind of both. It's kind of an upgrade and a downgrade. So a bunch of things are upgraded on this new iPhone 12, whether it's a mini or a Pro that you choose. The connectivity is better. It's 5G instead of 4G. Not that that matters for me in Paris, because we're 25 years behind everyone else, so we're not ready for 5G, so I don't really care about that. It's got the new A14 chip, which means technically it's a bit quicker. Not that I really saw a difference, to be honest, between these two. There wasn't much difference in terms of operating quickness, operating speed, operating rapidité, I don't know. You know what I mean. It wasn't much quicker, even though it's got the new chip. The 12 mini has better water resistance. Again, who cares? I mean, I live in Paris and it's raining right now, so maybe that helps a bit. And a bunch of other technical things that didn't really matter to me were the upgrade. The main upgrade for me was the form factor. And boy, do I love this small phone. A lot of people have been talking about it. They love this smaller form factor of a phone, and I agree with them. It's great. It's super light. Really light, like really extremely light compared to the old one, and even compared to the 12 Pro, which a friend of mine has, and it's really light. It's nice. It's cool. I like it in my hand. It's easier to get around different places. So for me, the form factor was a definite upgrade after using it for a week, and then going back to the iPhone 11, I was like, oh, this is kind of weird, grippy. It's weird it doesn't really work for me. It doesn't work. It took me a little while to get used to typing on a smaller screen because I got fat, ugly thumbs. And about the color, during the unboxing, I talked about it not really being black. I still maintain that. It is not really black. It is a kind of dark, very dark purple blue when you put it in sunlight, which I actually like, but it's not advertised black as it should be, to be honest. Those lying bastards at Apple. The fact that it's kind of square is amazing for taking photos, because you can literally just put it down and it stands on its own. And you can take a photo, you can take a selfie. If you're taking a group photo, you can just put it on the edge of a table or something like that, and it stands up on its own. Oh, have I missed those days? Because with the iPhone 11 Pro, or any of the previous, 4 generations of phones, you can't put it on its side. You have to buy, some sort of bendy tripod thing that's an extra thing in your pocket to hold the phone up. So I love the fact that this is square and it holds up. Now, speaking of photos, this was kind of one of the biggest issues for me, was the camera, because I take a lot of photos, especially now that I have a baby. What do people with babies do? Take fucking photos all day, every day. And I've been doing that with my 11 Pro, and it's been going really well. Most of the photos that I take are either portrait photos or the ultra-wide camera, which is kind of why I decided to buy this to test it out. Think about it this way. The camera is kind of an upgrade and a downgrade at the same time. How is it a downgrade? There's one less camera, basically. That is the downgrade. On the 12 mini, there is night mode on the ultra-wide lens and the selfie lens. And what does that mean? It just means that you can take better photos at night, which is something that I do a lot, considering that I'm usually on stage, backstage at theatres, taking photos. My life is at night, basically, because of my job, and so I take a lot of photos during the night, and I took a couple of photos. I went out for a walk, and I took some photos of the Moulin Rouge in Paris, daytime and nighttime. Honestly, in daytime, there were some differences. I know there's a different version of HDR on here to make the photos look a bit better. So Honestly though, when you're watching it, unless you're really zooming in, there's not a lot of difference. You can't tell a huge amount of difference. The colors are slightly different. I kind of prefer them on here. Basically, all of the photos I preferred on the 12 mini. The only ones I didn't was obviously when you zoom in, you're missing that 2x zoom because the third camera is not there. So you can still zoom in, but it's more of a digital zoom. And to be honest, it looks okay. It looks okay. It's not amazing. It's not as good as this one, obviously. But how often do I use the 2x zoom? Nah, not that much. But when you want to use it, you kind of want to be there. So for me, the camera was the biggest point of contention for me. I was just like, oh, what am I doing? Why am I spending more money to downgrade my cameras? But I have to be honest, I do kind of prefer the look. And also, at nighttime, when you're doing an ultra-wide, I do a lot of ultra-wide shots at night. They look much better than they do on the 11 Pro, as do the selfie. You selfie night mode, it just works better than it does on the 11 Pro, because there is no night mode. There's only a night mode on the main camera, which is, I don't know what they call it, the wide camera. The main camera that's the one-time zoom is the only one that has night mode on here. This one has night mode on both, and the front-facing camera too. You make up your own mind. You tell me what you prefer in terms of the colors, in terms of the nighttime stuff. Let me know in the comments. One of the big downgrades, so to speak, was going to be the battery life. That was what I was most worried about as with the cameras, basically, because the size of the phone means that the battery in here is going to be a lot smaller than the battery in here, especially on like day 2 of using it, when I spent an hour and a half on FaceTime with my dad. It rinsed the battery. It was probably the fact that it's video, and it was the internet connection, the 4G internet connection, because we're in France, there's no 5G. So I think a combination of that for an hour and a half made it flip out, because 2 days later, I then watched like an hour and a half of video live streaming through my Wi-Fi the next day, and the battery was okay. And I'm happy for myself to report that the battery here does last the whole day. I'm charging my phone every day anyway. I mean, unless you go back to like the Nokia 3310 where I charge it once a week. Since I've had a smartphone, I've charged it every day. So this does last the whole day. No problems. So that was, I was happy about that for sure. So far it was kind of like basically the same as this for me, except I just prefer the form factor. I preferred the size of it. Everything else is pretty much the same, minus the cameras a little bit, but it didn't really bother me that much. Here are the things that do bother me about this phone. Number one, the back of it is just straight glass instead of like the matte finish, which means that the fingerprints, look at the state of that. I mean, I'm not a dirty bastard, but look at this. So that's going to annoy me. I know that would annoy me. Another thing that annoys me about the design is the camera module. By the end of day 1, it kind of got this weird smudge. The camera got smudgy, and in between the two cameras, you can see there, it's kind of like this weird, not decoloration, but just a weird sort of smudge that I can't get rid of. So that's annoying me. The fact that there's different sized grills at the bottom of the phone for the speaker and the microphone annoy me. The other thing that annoys me, and this is specifically with the screen, is when you're watching a YouTube video, if you're watching a 16:9 video, it's fine. The notch doesn't intervene with the side. There's 2 black bars, and the notch is hidden within those black bars. However, if you're watching like a film on Netflix, or some of my favorite YouTubers who want to make cinematic looking vlogs, they have a different film aspect ratio, and what you find is that the notch is slightly eating into the video, just ever so slightly, and it is so frustrating. And that's a problem with the size of the screen. I can't believe they didn't look that one up, or they didn't research that before figuring it out or finding a solution. It's kind of frustrating, if I'm honest. I had a real debate going on in my head, because I was like, oh, what do I do? Do I send this back, or do I send this back? Because basically Apple do a recycling program where they give you like 560 euros for this phone. And then this costs 800 basically it means I'm paying an extra 250 euros to send this one back and keep this one. And I was like, oh, am I going to keep a phone that is technically not as good in terms of the battery, in terms of the cameras, everything else I prefer? Why am I paying 250 euros extra for this? And my final decision is going with the 12 mini. I don't know why. It's mainly the form factor. It's mainly the size. It's mainly I guess the novelty. It's a new phone also. Yeah, the camera isn't as good. It's missing one of the cameras, but I don't really use it that much. I prefer the night mode on the other cameras. Just prefer the size of it. The battery I can deal with. So yeah, I'm going to keep the 12 mini and I'm going to send this one back. I think it's my final answer. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. I have to say though, in the 14 years that I've been using Apple products and the 9 years that I worked at Apple, this is the first time I'm having a real dilemma between upgrading. It's always been so simple. So that's what I'm going to do for now. I'm keeping the iPhone 12 mini. If you're wondering whether the iPhone 12 mini is a downgrade or an upgrade from the 11 Pro, it's kind of a bit of both. It's a bit of a downgrade, but it's an upgrade in some other areas. It depends what you want. It depends what you use your phone mostly for. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this non-tech YouTuber tech review of an iPhone mini. If you're still watching this, I don't know why. I don't even know why you'd be listening to my opinion. I mean, I did work at Apple for a while, so I guess my opinion is worth something, isn't it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I might do some more tech videos in the future when new Apple products get released and just have the ex-Apple employee view on new Apple products. Oh, speaking of which, they just released some headphones. Some brand new AirPods Max. Are they called the AirPods? I'm not even going to go there. Right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.